Wow.
Which is where it has these navigation buttons. It has the speakers, it has a camera, it has a microphone, it has the Wi-Fi antennas. It has 3 USB ports, 2 here, 1 on the other side, and here's also the analog audio, which is pretty high quality. I used it for my New Year's party. You can actually use it to play decent MP3 songs on this one, and you can also attach other types of analog devices to this port. And then the keyboard, of course, is for children. It's quite small. You're not supposed to use it if you're a grown-up.
That's cool.
You know, if you have one of these, probably you've stolen it from a child. I swear I didn't. But
How much does it weigh?
There's a new version with a faster processor, no?
yeah, that they've upgraded the hardware slightly. More flash memory. I think it's 1 megabyte, and then a faster processor.
Did you install Opera on it yet?
We don't. We only have one prototype, which is the old one with the old processor. Opera runs fine on the.
It runs fine already on this one, so it's going to be even better on the.
Yeah, we don't need the extra processor, but I think other programs might. But you know, we're very used to running in environments like this.
Yeah.
We're used to running in phones and stuff.
Do you know if you could have a flash video player on the?
Why on earth would you want that?
Why on earth? I don't know. So they can go on YouTube. No?
Flash is a proprietary closed world. We want this to be an open system where open standards run.
Yeah.
I think that's my opinion.
Yeah.
But yes, you can technically run a flash player on it as well.
All right.
Is Opera open source?
No, Opera is open, not open source. We're open standards. I think everything that goes in and out of the machine should be open standards. That's. But I'm going to talk more about it. I'm going to have to go and prepare my talk now. The web is the most open platform we have, and we need to take care of it. We need to evolve it forward. And that has happened in the HTML world. HTML5 is coming along. We have some news from the CSS side. I'm going to showcase some things that we couldn't do a year ago. We couldn't even do it a week ago. It's just been released. And I'm going to talk about Opera running on all sorts of devices. Some of you have seen them up here. Some of you have seen the $100 laptop and touched it. A lot of people want to hold it, feel it, see how heavy it is. And you're welcome to come up here afterwards and do that. Buy it? No, I'm not sure about that. I'm not going to sell it.
So we had Reboot, and you just had a speech. You were talking. Can you just say a little bit what you were talking about?
Well, I was talking about a couple of things: HTML, CSS, the development of those, and also running Opera on all sorts of devices, phones, Nintendo Wii, and also this unit here, of course, which a lot of people were interested in seeing, the $100 laptop. A lot of people want to touch it. And I understand them. It's got a nice feeling to it. It's a wonderful little machine. It's the right kind of thinking. We don't need faster, bigger, more noisy hardware. We need machines that work, that are cheap.
And this is great in the sun.
And work great in the sun. That's right. That's right.
So there's like full sunlight.
Yeah.
And it's just as clear as a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Not really, but kind of.
Not really.
Not totally.
But it's very good. And this was the first batch of prototypes. Opera was sent one machine to try to see if we could run Opera here, and Opera runs very well. But they may have improved the hardware after that. I don't know. We only have one unit.
So you got it like Christmas?
Christmas. It was a wonderful Christmas. I had a Wii for Christmas and this one for Christmas. Of course, they weren't gift. I had to do work with them. So.
Because you're a chief technology officer, right?
Yes.
So you do all the technology in Opera.
Well, I don't do all of it.
Yeah?
We have 400 people who are very savvy technologists, many of them. But I tried to look at, trends and see what's happening, where we should go, where we should be at, and I think this machine is very important. This could potentially reach more people, more children than any other unit we've been working on.
Could you just say, like, have you seen the kind of browser that they include by default?
Yes.
And what is that? How is it different?
It's a Gecko-based browser, which is open source, which is the reason why they've chosen it. It's not a bad browser either, but Gecko hasn't been made to run in constrained devices, whereas Opera has been developed on phones and games consoles and such, and we know how to make use of little memory and a slow processor. So we run very well here. I don't want to talk bad about other people's software. This is great software going in here, but I just see that Opera runs incredibly well. It's like the ideal machine for Opera to run in.
All right, so it would be painless to add.
It's painless to add Opera. We've described this on the OLPC wiki site, how to just fetch a package, the installer from Opera, and put it in. It's painless to install and run.
The kid could do it.
Well, yeah, you have to be a little more technical than the average. It's not a one-button push. You have to actually type in some commands, but it can be done, yes.
Or what you could do maybe is send a SD card with the Opera sticker on it to all the schools and just let them install if they want.
SD card or a USB stick or something.
Yeah.
But I think typically we will work with the governments. They will have good people around the world that are responsible for the deployment within the countries. And if they want to use Opera, we would want to let them use it.
It'd be better that they pre-install it by default, maybe as an extra browser.
I think
second browser.
Yeah, that's what we find in phones as well. Installing browsers, although it's not very hard, it's hard enough that it doesn't work for some people. So we'd like to be pre-installed on these units too. Yeah.
Just as an extra icon, like the normal browser, Gecko and Opera. Click. That
would work. Absolutely.
So when you actually turn on the computer and you open the browser, how long does it take to open a browser? Is it fast or how does it work?
Well, it's starting up isn't. It's not faster than other PCs because I believe that's because of the flash memory that it reads from. So it's not instantaneous, but hopefully you shouldn't have to close it down ever. You should start it up and then you should put it to sleep and put it back in again. You shouldn't have to reboot the machine. Shouldn't have to restart the browser. Ideally, of course, sometimes you will have to do that, but this should just be running. It goes into sleep mode, doesn't use much power, but it can still act as a node in the mesh network. It's another thing which is important in this, that the network can be shared between different machines in the same area.
Just also in your talk, you were talking about video, and you said something about Flash.
Yes.
You're thinking something about Flash.
Well, Flash is the current video format for the web. YouTube uses Flash, and Flash isn't ideal because it's not an open standard. It could potentially be, like Adobe has made PDF a quite open standard, and they could do the same for Flash, which I think they should do. But if they're not doing that, then we have to find an open format for the web. The web is based on open standards, and we need an open standard for video as well. We must handle text, we must handle images, graphics, and video. Video is important. It should be a first-class citizen on the web.
So you would want to include, for example, Ogg Theora in the browser somehow?
Yes.
Just by default, it's there.
I'd like to do that.
Yeah?
Yeah. We haven't announced that yet, but that's something I think we should do. All the browser vendors, not just Opera.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Internet Explorer should do it.
They should. Absolutely.
Absolutely. By
They don't listen to me though.
When you install Windows Vista, it should be there.
I think it should.
Yeah?
It's a great format. It could be a baseline format, and then they could offer more advanced formats if they want to. I mean, Ogg Theora will not give you the best compression ratio, but it's quite cheap to decode though. You don't need a very fast processor to decode Ogg Theora. Whereas MPEG-4, some of the advanced levels of MPEG-4, it's very computing intensive. So compression ratio isn't the only thing. And Ogg Theora performs better than Flash, I believe. So I think Ogg Theora is a pretty good choice at the moment, but this is still up for discussion. We're discussing this in the HTML working group and in the What working group, so work is being done on this.
Because, for example, DivX, they have to pay the license fee to MPEG-4.
Yes.
But what do you think about DivX? Is it good?
I don't know. I mean, the MPEG-4 algorithm is very good. I don't have anything against it. The problem is the licensing. When you had to pay fees to put out content or to decode content. That's not what we want the web to be. We want everyone to be able to put out content without paying for it.
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of the thing, to make it available for anyone to use. And if we put if we accept fees on video, they're not going to be cannot afford to pay patent license fees in these kinds of units that cost $100.
Yeah. If they have to pay for Adobe Flash, it's kind of sad.
Yeah, that's not going to work. For pay software isn't going to work. That's why we make Opera available for free on these units, like we do on many other units as well. We do charge for phones and other things though, so we are a commercial company too. But we'd like for there to be open standards, so that what crosses the wires, what goes in and out of the unit, is totally open, documented in an open standard. That's very important to us.
All right. Just one thing about Flash, because there's a problem with Flash. Often you cannot have it full screen.
Yeah.
Could you just do like an integration in Opera where any Flash video you would just somehow have it full screen, like without having to talk with Adobe? Or is it Adobe who has to do that?
Well, when you render Flash in a browser today, you use actually a plugin, and the plugin is in charge. The plugin can decide to go into full screen. I don't think Opera could force it into full screen. I don't think we have the power to do so, but that's a technical detail.
Like on the Wii, you can zoom in, Like if you can just zoom in on the video somehow, so it's easier to have it full screen.
And we could zoom in. We could probably zoom in and be intelligent about it, so that we put it sort of in the full screen mode. Yeah, we could probably get pretty close. Yeah.
Just check. All right.
Yeah.
Because on YouTube, when you put it on blogs, by default, you cannot have it full screen. You have to go first on YouTube and then click the full screen button, and it starts from the beginning.
I don't think there is any way to remote control the Flash plugin, but you can do zooming without telling the plugin about it, I believe. Maybe we should do that.
All right, thanks.